You're finally on board. The plane is soaring through the air. You're sitting comfortably and relaxing. Everything is calm and serene. Or perhaps the passengers next to you are making a bit of noise. So you've popped your earphones and are listening to music. Or you're reading a book, or you're solving a crossword puzzle. Whatever the case, the flight is going fine. Who knows what you're flying over? Perhaps the great blue sea or the mountains, which look like paper models from high above. Then again, maybe all you can see is the clouds. No longer high above your head, but now far beneath your feet. We can say what we like about the fear and stress of flying, but one thing remains true. Looking down on the world from this point of view is breathtaking. I can recall the story of an old woman who had never flown in her entire life. Ilaria Petrini told me this tale. Ilaria is the head coordinator of ITA Airways' I Wanna Fly courses. She was the oldest in her course, and in her life she'd faced the harshest of challenges. As a child, many years ago, she had been imprisoned in a concentration camp. Now, at the age of 82, the lady decided to face her fear of flying. A fear which had stopped her from doing what she truly wanted, which was to travel, to see the world, and to feel free. Which is why her daughter signed her up for the course. Everything went perfectly. The lady managed to overcome this final hurdle and became a true traveler. She visited so many places around the world, and she would always send a postcard back to the course coordinators. It was as if the wall that had stopped her from following her dreams had finally fallen. And in the end, that's what overcoming our fears is all about. Finding pieces of ourselves which were hidden away somewhere, but which we could never find the courage to reveal to ourselves. Breathe. This is Relax and Fly, the podcast that teaches you to enjoy your flight. So, let's go back to where we left off. Those baby steps towards flying without any fear. Let's start from a very specific and very common situation. The fear of unknown sounds. Any foreign sound can make us jump once we're on the plane. It's normal. As we mentioned in past episodes, a good strategy to overcome these irrational fears is to do some research and find out what these sounds really are. If you managed to pick up some of this information in the previous days, now it's time for you to use it. Usually, the moments just before the plane lands are those in which we hear the loudest noises, so these can easily be the most emotionally intense. I asked Andrea Nobile to tell me in his experience which noises are the most unsettling for passengers, and most importantly, why there's really nothing to fear.
Yes, without a doubt, the extension and retraction of landing gear, because it's the noisiest. But it's absolutely normal, just like the movements of the flap slats, which are necessary for acceleration and deceleration.
The flap slats that he mentions are those parts of the wings that move so that the plane can maneuver.
The extension, the retraction, anything that makes noise is unsettling for the passengers, as is the movement in which the plane levels itself. This is where the push of the engines is reduced, and it feels as if the plane is about to descend, which can make some passengers anxious. However, it's completely normal. And it's also normal for the plane to turn immediately after takeoff. All of these conditions can make passengers nervous, but they're routine and allow the craft to make its way to destination.
We've already talked about turbulence and why there's nothing to fear about it. However, I asked Andrea Nobile what he would say to someone who's scared of turbulence, and this was his reply.
I'd tell them to stay calm, not to worry at all. Planes are built in such a way that they can resist heavy structural loads of stress. Even the worst turbulence is absolutely incapable of affecting an aircraft. Also, pilots have procedures that they must follow in these cases, such as reducing speed or altitude. So, as a passenger, there's no reason to worry at all. Some people even find turbulence oddly relaxing, like being cradled in their sleep.
So let's go over what we've talked about so far. Before the day of your flight, you might have studied up on the reasons for some of those sounds. You may also have done some exercises to keep your fears at bay. It's also possible that you asked yourself where this fear of flying comes from. Now, all of these exercises and questions may have been useful, some more than others. Everyone has to see what works best for them. In any case, now I'd like to reveal 2 practical exercises, similar to the breathing ones from the last episode, which you can try up in the air when, despite everything, your anxiety continues to bother you. The first is an actual dialogue with the part of ourselves that is afraid, our inner child. That is the child that we used to be, and who still resides in us. All they're asking us to do is to reassure them. Speak with this child. Tell them what you've learned about flying, and softly explain to them why there's nothing to fear. Be the adult to yourselves, a responsible and capable adult that inspires confidence. I really like the idea that deep inside each of us, there's still the child that we once used to be. I find it fascinating that this part of us still finds a way to make themselves heard, even if it's not always in a useful manner, such as with an ancient fear. In any case, this idea comforts me. No matter what happens to us, fragments of who we used to be continue to live deep down inside, taking on different shapes and forms. But let's look at the next exercise, which is to focus intensely on positive thoughts, such as embracing a loved one or petting an animal. Visualize the moment. Imagine yourself holding your spouse, your child, or your parents. See your hands as you pet your cat. Feel its purring. Often we can find everything we need right inside ourselves. It just takes a bit of practice to learn how to pull it out and use it. Close your eyes and recall the feelings of a happy time. During the most difficult moments of our life, it can be useful to unlock the memories of when we were happy in the past so we can find peace today. When you're on the plane, you can even think of yourself as a sort of pilot. You have the power over your own mind. You can tell it where it has to go. Just like a real pilot, you need to familiarize yourself with your own instruments. You need to know where you're going. You have to know your own limitations, and you should also practice managing difficult situations. Now, the flight is over. See you next time to talk about the post-flight, since there are a couple things you can do to reward yourself. After all, you deserve it. Relax and Fly is a podcast series promoted by Aeroporti di Roma and produced by Cora Media. Written by Ilario Orru, narrated and adapted by John Vincent. Editing by Sarah Poma. The senior producer is Anna Nenna. Studio recordings by Luca Possi. Post-production and sound design by Emanuele Moscatelli. Music supervision by Luca Micheli.